Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for mid-May 2024. We're going to jump right in here. You have this new moon in Cancer says you and your loved ones are safe. You also have this full moon in Sag. It says look at the big picture. So whatever you're working on, whatever you're working towards, I would definitely make sure that you're looking at the big picture. Although I kind of feel like you are. Like I feel that's the point of the reading is that you are seeing the big picture of something that you are trying to create or have in your life. And, again, I think this is a good thing. Sometimes I feel, your first card here is a Hermit. And sometimes I feel with the Hermit that what it's saying is that you are like much more capable than you realize. He has gone through a dark night of the soul and now he needs to shine his inner light, but he's kind of still got that light stuck in his lantern and he might need to kind of like shine that out to the world. And that's kind of what I'm feeling for you here, Libra, is that like I feel like you need to shine your light or, shine your light out to the world with the Hermit card. Like I said, he's got that light, the star stuck in his lantern, and he might need to kind of open that up and share something, share something that he's created or, share something that he wants to say with the world. You also have this Swan Spirit coming up next, and I'll show you that in a second, but, it says time for a deep dive. So very similar to looking at the big picture. There might be something, that you are looking very deeply into, and even the Hermit can kind of represent going on a journey and looking deeply into something. Here's the journey right here. Sorry about that. I probably scared you there, Libra. I don't even know why that was set, but there you go, Page of Wands. So definitely pay attention to this Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is kind of about being enthusiastic and moving towards your enthusiasm. A lot of people get this right now because I think that it's maybe the only thing that we can really kind of like trust right now, or that can guide us towards, kind of like a dream life or something that would be a good life worth living. And I kind of feel that's what the Page of Wands is saying, is that you're kind of like, following your enthusiasm. You also have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords, I feel, is saying, like, take your time on something. Although, what I will say is you end with this Go the Distance card. Again, I'll show you that in a minute. But that card says, like, if you're committing to something that you're working on in your life, like, go all the way. Like, really, really make it happen. And, it's more, I think that card is more about follow through. It's like some people, they kind of they set this goal to achieve something, but they, stop when they get to it, right? That's why, like, I'm not a big fan of goals necessarily. Like, I think we should have goals, but I'm a big fan of setting standards, which is, you set a standard and you keep raising the standard as much as you can or as much as you want, like whatever fits into your life, right? And that way, if you exceed your goal, then that is a good thing. And, I think sometimes goals maybe put us in a box, or we kind of set a goal like, oh, I only want to make this amount of money. And then we only make that amount of money or whatever it is, when things could be better, right? So I kind of feel like that Go the Distance card is talking about following through. Let's see. With the Hermit, you have the Five of Pentacles there. And the Five of Pentacles is about feeling left out in the cold. You start and end with the Five of Pentacles. This is your current general energies. This last row is going to be the good stuff. So you could be removing, kind of removing yourself from the cold. Really, the Five of Pentacles is about needing to not focus on your weaknesses, needing to focus on your strengths. And so I feel for a lot of you that this could be you maybe changing your focus to focusing on your strengths or focusing on what you're actually good at, instead of like trying to do things that you don't want to do or that you're not good at. With the Page of Wands, you have the King of Swords here. King of Swords, a card of knowledge and wisdom. I'm a big fan of like finding a mentor, or, even if you have a problem in your life, I always say that the King of Swords represents a person who can solve that problem very quickly. So it's like if it's a legal problem, see a lawyer. If it's a medical problem, go to the doctor, stuff like that. And so I always think of the King of Swords as a person who kind of like has answers for you and has answers on what you could be doing. It's also the journey of, kind of turning knowledge into wisdom. And so we can learn things all day long, but where we really learn is when we put things into practice. And when you look right here, you have the Magician pointing to the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands could be you kind of, especially in the good stuff, it can say that you are putting yourself on a pedestal, or you are, protecting your position in life, whatever that means for you. And so I kind of feel like you are learning new skills. You could be, becoming more dangerous here, Libra, in life in a good way. And you could be kind of doing things that are setting yourself apart. I don't really see any cards here that would say you're setting yourself apart yet, like the Chariot, for example. There are a couple others, but what I would say here is if we do see some of those cards, then that would kind of solidify the message. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is a card of gratitude and luxuries. So I would make sure that you're being grateful for what you have and practicing gratitude. You always get the Nine of Pentacles with me. And I really feel like the most supportive thing for Libra right now is your environment. So I would make sure that you're creating like a positive environment, including like the one you live in, around your home. I also think that if you're in situations that are less than positive, like work or business or whatever, I would do whatever you can. Like, I understand that people can't just necessarily like up and quit their job, but like, are there little things you can do to create a more positive environment? That's what the Nine of Pentacles kind of asks us to do. And if we do that, then we will get better results or create a more positive environment. Next, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have the Swan Spirit. It says, time for a deep dive. You also have this Wasp Spirit. It says, sometimes life stings. And so I feel that you have experienced some stings with the Five of Pentacles showing up in your first row there. And, I feel that this is you kind of realizing or taking a deep dive into like what you are good at in life and what you're not good at with that Swan Spirit. The Swan kind of lives between two worlds, right? The air and the water. So I feel for a lot of you that this could be you tapping more in to like your heart side of things, but it's like you're also not getting rid of the air either. I feel like you are kind of maybe mixing the two things together so that you can, be more successful, or so that you can have this positive new beginning we see right here. You have the Fool. You also have the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Wands is like a very positive new beginning as well. The Fool is kind of setting himself apart, I will say, like in a certain way. He is the contrarian of the tarot, so he does things that no one does. And, people maybe think he's crazy or think that he is making the wrong decisions in his life, but he knows better. He has these tattered sleeves right here on his cloak or whatever you want to call it. It looks like a dress to me. But, what I would say here is that those tattered sleeves kind of say that he has been through this journey before. He's going from the Fool all the way to the World and then starting all over again. So I feel for a lot of you, it's like, it doesn't matter, what people say or what people are telling you about what you're doing in life. I think all that matters is that you are going to get results, and you are the contrarian. It's like you are, or whatever you are doing might be, different than what other people expect, but, it's your life, right? So I would just keep moving forward. But I do feel like you're about to take a leap of faith. It is kind of interesting as well. We have a lot of icy energy going on up here, right? Stuck out in the cold. The Hermit is maybe frozen at the top of the mountain. We have frozen mountains behind the Fool. So it kind of is saying to me that there is something that you need to like unfreeze yourself from, right? The story of the Hermit is that he could take that lantern and pop it down by his feet, and his feet would thaw out. He could set himself free. So, while the Hermit is a good card, doesn't necessarily mean you're stuck. This is kind of saying like it's time to get started. You have the Magician. The Magician is kind of like the creation of a new beginning. So you have two cards that, 0 and 1 right here. The Fool being 0, the Magician being card number 1. Actually, you go 0, 1, 2. I didn't even realize it. You have the High Priestess right here. So you're going in order. So that's pretty interesting. But I kind of feel like the Magician is kind of saying that you are creating a new beginning for yourself. He's pointing down to that Seven of Wands. And the Seven of Wands is a card that says when you know that you know, like when you believe something so deeply that there is no other way than for you to be successful, that's when you will truly find success. And so there is something kind of going on here that is encouraging you to, believe in yourself more deeply, or, truly believe that you can accomplish what you're setting out to accomplish. You have this High Priestess. It's like your intuition, I feel, is being pulled in a direction. She is a card of like secrets and mysteries as well. But these aren't, it doesn't say like, hey, something is a secret, you can't learn about it. It just says you might not know how to start your journey, or you might not know where you're going in life, but the High Priestess says learn about it. She has that tapestry behind her, so we don't really know what is behind her. There's also like a theory that her back is to the world, as in she's like shutting everything out so that she can focus on where she is going, and so she can listen for a minute to her intuition The other thing that's standing out to me is her crown. She has 3 stages of the moon on her crown, and it kind of says that she sees the beginning, middle, and end of everything that she is starting before she does it. So that doesn't necessarily mean intuitively either. She could be visualizing how she wants something to turn out. So I do feel that visualizing or visualization practices would probably be a good idea for you right now, Libra, especially with that card. But let's see. With the Fool, you have the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords really, could it be lying, cheating, stealing? Yes, but it's also a card of tactics. He is stealing those swords from an army in the background there. So instead of going to war, he's stealing the swords. And it basically says, if there's a better way to do anything that you're doing, do it. He's also like the trickster, but he could be a little bit of a contrarian as well, because again, he's doing something differently. And the Fool here is definitely encouraging you to do whatever you do in your life or whatever you're trying to accomplish in a different way. With the Magician, you have the Five of Cups. Yes, I mean, some of you could be feeling left out in the cold by a person, and this could have you putting up boundaries here with the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is coming up in the good stuff. I don't really feel this is that big of a deal or that big of an issue. If you are putting up boundaries against another person or if you are protecting yourself, this could say that you're protecting yourself in future connections as well. And again, coming up in the good stuff, obviously, this would be like healthy boundaries, or it would say that you have learned from your past mistakes, right? With the High Priestess, you have the Empress. There you go. So, again, how crazy is that you go 0, 1, 2, 3 right here in this row? I can't remember if I've ever had that happen or not, but definitely not in order like that. So the Empress is, this could be your journey to Empress status or your journey to having like a little bit of a glow up. I kind of feel like your glow up is going to come from following your own journey, creating whatever you want to create in your life. But I think in your last reading, I said you're very attractive at this time as well. So if you want love, I would definitely put yourself out there with that Empress energy. Very abundant time. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Chop Wood card and this Go the Distance card. Yeah, I wouldn't worry so much. I'm not saying you shouldn't worry about results, but I kind of feel that Go the Distance card is encouraging you to kind of go straight through something. Have that very strong follow through. So if you are exceeding your own expectations, then this could be a good thing. The Chop Wood card just says, I think that you're getting to work, you're doing work necessary to get the things you want. You have the Five of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, and the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands. The Five of Pentacles in the good stuff would say that you're coming out of the cold. And it could also say that you are focusing more on your strengths. I kind of feel in career that a lot of you have been trying to find something that, truly aligns with you, is something that you actually want to be doing. And I feel Libras have been dealing with this for a long time. And I do feel a lot of you could be coming out of the cold financially. You could be improving your situation. You have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is out with the old, in with the new. A lot of this energy right now, I would say a lot of people have been getting the Ace of Wands. And I feel that, we have kind of entered into this new world. And this new world has new rules that are different than the old rules. So I think it's time for you to kind of create new things, or for you to have new experiences, for you to embrace your excitement. The Ace of Wands can represent excitement, enthusiasm. It can represent your desire as well. So if you just desire to do something, and this could be a desire to be seen a certain way with the Hermit. You even have the Magician, and the Magician is a card of reinvention. And I think we're in a time of reinvention, especially for you air signs. Pluto will be going into Aquarius in November at the end of the year. It's retrograding back right now. It's still in Aquarius for now, but it will be in Capricorn, and then it's going to go into Aquarius. But, I think it's a really good time if you want to change who you are in some way, or I don't think you're changing who you are. I think you're becoming who you actually are, right? Because you're being the contrarian. You're not necessarily listening to what everybody else is saying. Then, again, now would be a great time for you to kind of do that. You have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands is a card of conviction. It says when you know that something is for you and you really believe something deep down inside, that's when you will accomplish it. So I think it would be a great time for you to work on your beliefs, or work on, believing things very deeply with the Seven of Wands. I also feel it would be great for you to put up any boundaries from anyone from the past here. The King of Swords could be a cold-hearted person, or a person who is no longer listening to you or whatever, right? And I feel like that's what you're removing yourself from. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Strength card. I literally said focusing on your strengths, and that's all I would do if I were you with this energy. I mean, I think everybody is being called to do this right now. Is like, there are plenty of things that are going to say, that are going to show you what you can't do, right, going on in the world. But, again, we really have to double down on the good stuff. With the Ace of Wands, you have the Death card. It seems to be like a very transformative week. So I think a lot of people are undergoing transformations at this time, or changes, or people are maybe embracing new ways of doing things in their life. And, that's probably the transformation that's happening. And here you go. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Hermit. The Hierophant. The Hierophant would be new beliefs, or like new belief systems. And so you could be kind of protecting your beliefs at this time. The other interesting thing is that you have the High Priestess and the High Priest, the Hierophant, right? So for a lot of you, this could be like a spiritual divine counterpart that's coming in for you. I really feel, though, that this week is like a week of reflection for you. It's kind of like one of those boring weeks. Whenever I do readings like this, they don't get as many views because I know it's like boring. But, I think that, again, this could be one of those weeks where you're just like reflecting on your life. You're looking at your strengths and your weaknesses, doubling down on your strengths, stuff like that. You have this innovation card. You are innovating yourself. Again, the contrarian, like I said, I think that's the other thing that's going on here, is that you might be kind of marching to the beat of your own drum, which is very, we have all this energy in Taurus, and in a certain way, especially Uranus in Taurus, I think that energy could be what is causing this type of thing. Let's see. You have the resourcefulness card. You always get the Queen of Pentacles. You don't have her here, but definitely would be a good week for you to be resourceful. I do feel that there is financial correction here. You go Nine of Pentacles, Magician, to that Five of Pentacles and the good stuff. I feel for a lot of you, you could be doing things to improve your finances. You have this egotism card. I would be careful of anyone. You always get this card as well. Like, I would be careful of anyone in your energy field who has a big ego. You have this romance card. I do feel there could be love here. It's not really a love reading, but again, this whole entire summer is a really good time, I believe, for love. So if you want it, I would be putting yourself out there. Again, it does look like there could be a spiritual divine counterpart, or whatever you want to call it, coming in for you. But I feel like you're going to have to put yourself out into the world. You have this generosity card. I kind of feel like people are being very generous to you, or, maybe you feel like the universe is a little bit more on your side, especially with the Five of Pentacles coming up here at the end. So, again, I think this reading is saying look at the big picture and, look at what you want to accomplish this week, and then follow it through to the end, right? Or past the end. Exceed your own expectations. But this looks pretty good here, Libra. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.